Three creepy true hiking horror stories. Welcome to our channel where we delve into the darkest corners of reality. Today we bring you three spine-chilling true hiking horror stories that will make you think twice before venturing into the wilderness. These stories are not for the faint of heart, so brace yourselves as we explore the terrifying unknown. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more terrifying tales. The Lost Hiker. Deep within the Pacific Northwest, a hiker named Michael vanished without a trace. It was supposed to be a routine hike, a chance for Michael to escape city life and reconnect with nature. He set off one crisp autumn morning, but as the sun set, he realized he had strayed from the path. Panic surged as he searched for a familiar landmark, but the dense undergrowth seemed to close in around him, making every direction look the same. Days turned into nights as search and rescue teams combed the area, their hopes dwindling with each passing hour. Years later, hunters stumbled upon a dilapidated campsite deep within the forest, a place untouched by time. To their astonishment, they found Michael, still alive but profoundly changed, a shadow of his former self. He was gaunt, his clothes torn, his eyes vacant and haunted, as if he had seen things no one should ever witness. When approached, Michael didn't speak, his mind seemingly lost in a distant, terrifying memory that he couldn't escape. He was taken to a hospital where doctors struggled to understand his condition, baffled by his silence and trauma. Michael's physical injuries healed, but his mind remained shattered, a puzzle with missing pieces. He had no recollection of the years he spent lost, no explanation for his survival in the harsh wilderness. The only clue was the look of sheer terror that would flash across his face in his sleep, a silent scream from his subconscious. Some whispered that Michael had stumbled upon something sinister in the woods, something that had driven him to the brink of madness. Others speculated that he had become hopelessly lost, his mind unraveling under the crushing weight of isolation and fear. Whatever the truth, Michael's story serves as a chilling reminder of the dark secrets hidden in the wild, secrets that may never be fully understood. The forest holds many mysteries, some more terrifying than others, lurking just beyond the reach of human understanding. For Michael, the greatest mystery was his own lost memory, a blank slate upon which an unspeakable horror had been written, a horror that defied explanation. He was a living ghost, forever haunted by an experience he could neither remember nor forget, trapped in a limbo of fear and confusion. And so the tale of the lost hiker is passed down, a cautionary reminder of the fragility of the human psyche and the unforgiving nature of the wild, a story that warns us of the thin line between adventure and peril. The Haunted Trail. In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, a trail known as the Devil's Path has long been shrouded in unsettling tales and eerie legends. Locals speak of a malevolent presence that haunts its wooded slopes, a presence that seems to watch and wait. A group of friends, eager for adventure and the thrill of the unknown, encountered something unimaginable on this trail. As they set off, the friends laughed and joked, their backpacks laden with supplies, unaware of the terror that awaited them. The sun shone brightly, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor, creating an almost magical atmosphere. But as the day wore on, a sense of unease crept into their light-hearted banter, a feeling they couldn't quite shake off. The air grew heavy, and the once familiar sounds of the forest took on a sinister edge, as if the woods themselves were alive. At first it was just a fleeting glimpse, a flicker of movement in the periphery, something they could easily dismiss. But as they continued, the sightings became more frequent, more unsettling and harder to ignore. A shadowy figure seemed to dart among the trees, always keeping pace but never fully revealing itself, adding to their growing fear. Fear gnawed at their minds as they realized they were not alone, that something was watching them. The laughter died down, replaced by hushed whispers and nervous glances, each friend trying to mask their fear. They tried to convince themselves it was just their imaginations, that the forest was playing tricks on them. But deep down, a primal instinct told them something was terribly wrong, that they were in grave danger. As dusk approached, the entity made its presence known, the shadows growing longer and more menacing. A blood-curdling scream pierced the silence, sending chills down their spines. Emily, one of the friends, lay on the ground, her eyes wide with terror, her body frozen in fear. Before they could react, a cold, ethereal wind swept through the forest, chilling them to the bone. The air grew thick with the stench of decay, and the temperature plummeted, making it hard to breathe. And then, just as quickly as it had appeared, the entity vanished, leaving them in stunned silence. Emily lay on the ground, her breathing shallow, her body trembling uncontrollably. Her mind had been shattered by whatever horror she had witnessed, leaving her a shell of her former self. They carried her out of the woods, their minds racing, their hearts pounding, desperate to escape the nightmare. The experience left an indelible mark on their souls, a scar that would never fully heal. The haunted trail had claimed another victim, its malevolent presence seeping into their lives, haunting their dreams. And so, the legend of the Devil's Path continues, a chilling tale of terror and the unknown, a story that will be told for generations to come. In the remote wilderness of the Rocky Mountains stood an abandoned cabin. Its weathered walls whispered tales of forgotten times, and its empty windows seemed to watch approaching hikers, as if guarding secrets of the past. One stormy evening, a group of hikers stumbled upon the cabin seeking refuge. They were weary, their clothes soaked, their spirits dampened by the relentless elements. The storm had been unforgiving, and the cabin seemed like their only hope for survival. The cabin, with its flickering candlelight, seemed like a beacon of hope. As they approached, a sense of unease settled over them, a feeling that something was not quite right. The candlelight flickered with an unnatural intensity, casting dancing shadows that seemed to move with a life of their own. The hikers hesitated at the threshold, their instincts screaming to turn back, but the storm's fury left them with no choice. But the storm raged on, its fury threatening to swallow them whole. With apprehension, they pushed open the creaking door and stepped inside, hoping for warmth and safety. The cabin was small, its interior shrouded in shadows. A lone candle flickered atop a rickety table, casting grotesque shapes on the walls. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional creak of the wooden floorboards. A fire crackled in the hearth, its warmth doing little to dispel the bone-chilling cold. As the hikers huddled around the fire, they couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, as if unseen eyes were observing their every move. Whispers seemed to emanate from the shadows, faint and indistinct like echoes of long-forgotten voices. The wind howled outside, rattling the shutters and adding to the eerie atmosphere. One by one, the hikers succumbed to exhaustion, drifting off to a restless sleep. But Sarah, one of the hikers, remained awake, her senses on high alert. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong, a sense of impending doom. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. As the hours crawled by, Sarah's fear intensified. Every creak and groan of the cabin seemed amplified, each sound a harbinger of something sinister. She heard soft footsteps creaking on the floorboards. She saw shadows moving in the corners of her eyes, fleeting glimpses of something that shouldn't be there. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as if trying to communicate a dire warning. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream shattered the silence, sending chills down Sarah's spine. Sarah bolted upright to see David, one of her companions, sitting up, his eyes wide with terror. He stammered about a cold, ethereal hand that had reached out from the darkness, a touch that felt like death itself. Panic surged through the group as they gathered around David. They tried to rationalize his experience, but deep down, they knew something sinister was at play. The cabin's malevolent presence was undeniable. As the night wore on, the paranormal activity intensified. Objects moved on their own, and the whispers became deafening. Terrified and desperate, the hikers decided to flee the cabin, their fear driving them into the stormy night. They emerged from the woods, forever changed by their experience. The memory of the abandoned cabin and its haunting presence would stay with them, a chilling reminder of the unknown lurking in the wilderness. Thank you for joining us on this terrifying journey into the heart of darkness. We've explored the chilling tales of those who dared to venture into the unknown and lived to tell the tale. But remember, the wilderness holds many secrets, and not all who wander are lost. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more terrifying tales from the unknown. We're always on the lookout for the most spine-chilling stories out there, so be sure to share your own encounters with the paranormal in the comments below. Stay safe, and remember, sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that are true. Sweet dreams.